Hi, this is Jan from thetechgeeks.com. Today we're going to set up UniFi Talk with a third-party SIP provider, but we're going to do it with Aussie Broadband today. We've seen a lot of people have questions and issues getting it working, so today we just wanted to go through this and just quickly show you how we can set this one up. So this is the phone that we're going to use today, G3 Touch Pro, but first we're going to go to Settings within Talk. I'm going to go to phone lines, and instead of Breeze, we're going to go custom. And this is just a label, but Aussie Broadband is the one that we're after. So there's a few custom fields that are needed. So proxy is one. Username. Password. Extension. From domain. And you may find with different firmware versions, slightly different products from Aussie Broadband, things might be slightly different, but this is what we have found works. Okay. All right, perfect. So now I'm just going to grab the details and fill these ones in. Okay, so I filled those ones in. So for proxy and from domain, I'm going to put this one in. This is provided by Aussie Broadband to us. Username, which is blurred out, and then we have the extension here. Retry and expiry, call ID from true, because this is a registered SIP trunk. If you're using Breeze Connect, for example, they are unregistered SIP trunks, that would be false. An extension in contact there as well. Don't need to put destination countries necessarily. You can tick that handle all outgoing calls by default, but not strictly needed. You will note in the phone number section, I've also put the username here. The reason is Aussie Broadband expects a username when making an outbound call. So inbound calls, it uses your proper extension, but when you're making an outbound call, it's expecting this as your call number as well. You will also need to add an address range. So this is essentially will allow traffic from certain IPs. So there is a specific IP for Aussie Broadband, but you can just add all IPs. We're not as concerned security-wise as it's a registered SIP trunk. Okay, and we're going to be doing pull requests. If calls were getting pushed to us, then yes, we would make sure that we're just getting it from the SIP provider in an unregistered trunk. So that one's for the internet, and we'll just hit apply. Okay, so that is our SIP trunk, our phone line set up. So now we obviously need to assign this. So what we're going to do is we are going to go to people now and go to users, and we need to assign talk, and we need to assign a device. So we're going to assign, we're going to leave the number blank because this is going to be picked up by the group that we're going to assign to this user. And yeah, perfect, and apply changes. Okay, now we're going to go back to groups. So we're going to go to call handling and then call routing, I think it was, and create the groups. So we're going to create inbound. Group number is going to be the actual number. I'm not going to worry about the extension at this stage. And we're going to add people. Now that we've assigned a phone to this user, we can now assign this user to the call handling group. And so now people that are calling this number, so we can add multiple people to all receive a call when it hits this one, which is handy. You can also customize this a bit more with the attendant. So we're going to create group. Fantastic. And now we are also going to create the outbound group. So this will be the group assigned to everyone for that phone line, because they will need to be using the username when making an outbound call from Aussie Broadband. So we can add the user again, like so. Create. Okay, fantastic. So we've got the two groups. We have the user in both groups. So now what we'll do is we'll just double check. We'll go back here, and we need to select the outgoing number. I think if we click this again, we should be able to, yep, click that. Sometimes the information is static, so you sometimes need to refresh the page for things, changes to be shown. Okay, so we've got that. So we've got the groups for inbound and outbound. We have a user with a phone assigned. And we got a inbound and outbound number, so the phone line. So just having a look at the phone to my right, and it's displaying the actual phone number, which is fantastic. So now I'm going to do a test call from my phone to the UniFi phone. And I'll do it on screen just so that we can see this call happening. All right, I'm not sure if you can hear that, but that phone call has gone through. And now I just want to make sure that we test the outbound as well. So as the inbound, outbound can be the one where you encounter some more issues. So we're just going to do a callback. And I don't think you can see that to my right, but I've got a call incoming from Teams from that phone. It's fantastic. So what we'll do, we'll just go to maybe overview. And you can see we have an inbound call to this number, success, and we also have an outbound from this user to this other phone number. So that is essentially it for this one. Just double check. Yeah, so that's basically it for this one. So there's the main gotchas is you've got to have your username as the phone number. Make sure that you have the IP address range covered for where Aussie Broadband's server is going to be sending calls from. And then that is going to get you a lot of the way. So I hope this has been helpful. So if you liked further videos, feel free to follow us on YouTube and to keep up to date.